Hi Gemini, welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Gemini, I've already done your reading. I started doing it and I went for a good 15 minutes, almost 20 minutes. And I just struggled through the whole reading, and it was something in the energy that I picked up that I just shouldn't have kept going, but I did because I thought, I don't want to leave anything out. I want to be authentic about these things and not redo things. But I was like, no, I'm all about putting all positive stuff to the world, like showing up for you as an inspiration, not dragging you down. It wasn't dragging you down, but it was sort of just telling what felt like it was going on. And you already know what's going on in your life. You need inspiration. And so I just want to say that. I want to be honest about how I already made a little reading and I've deleted it and I wanted to start over. And to get me back into sort of a good place where I start to struggle when my energy is not up to par, if that makes sense. Like if I'm turning a bit too low, the messages from the higher frequencies don't come in. I have to be sort of in a certain position to receive it. And I really had to take my time. I mean, it might not sound too long, but I had to look for, I specifically went in to look for a couple of videos that I know that cheers me up straight away, to just put my energy back in where it's supposed to be. So I think this is a message within itself. I want to be honest about that. I have already deleted a recording here, and that I felt like I was so struggling, but to remind yourself over and over again that it takes a couple of videos, like a couple of baby videos, a couple of cat videos, a couple of whatever sort of makes your juices flowing again, to really turn to that, to just tune into something different than the energy that you're in. And I think that's important to know as well. I don't want to leave that out. So with that said, let's start over. I'm in a much better place, and I'm recording this on the 24th of March. And I'm leaving now sort of the numbers in. I want to sort of feed off of the numbers, the energy. I love numbers. Source is speaking to me through numbers on numerous occasions. See what I did there? Oh my God. Scratch. And I got thrown off now by my own joke. What was I going to say? Yes, that I don't have an end date to the readings anymore. I put so I'm asking for your story for the very near future. So if you find this, if you see that I posted it on the 24th and you find something in here, the message could still be for you. So let's just start to shuffle a second time and see what comes out for you guys. And yeah, I'm usually, and I understand that this is a very particular moment in history, in like a global phenomena is what's going on right now, I guess. But usually I try to sort of keep my own world intact, and so that I can give you authentic messages. It doesn't matter that it's just because a gazillion people feel the same way, it doesn't mean that it's authentic. Does that make any sense? Or did I just lose some of you guys? I hope that makes sense. Just because... No, I'm not going to get into it. Okay. So, the best story for Gemini right now and for the near future. What can we help you with? How can we inspire you, uplift you? What's going on? I'm using the Sagittarius Oracle deck by John Holland. And also I want to say that my camera is reversing things, so it's going to look mirrored when you see it. And that's just how it's going to be for now. It's a better card than the first card that flew out in my last reading. I think that was 2, was it? Yes. Waiting for one more. There's going to be an extended here, so if this reading is resonating with you, probably the extended will resonate with you as well. Bit too many. Just waiting for the last one to drop. Thank you. Wow. That's a bit different energy. Okay, so I want to say first that we have 191. We have two number ones on the table, which speaks all about new beginnings, new start, brand new start, starting over. And it's funny since I'm starting over this reading, so there's something to it. So the first card out is triumphant success. Triumphant success. So it feels like there's something about you coming from this success that you're stepping into, whatever that is, Gemini, whatever you would consider something that you want to see come to fruition, you want to see something manifesting, you want to have something in your experience, whatever this is, what type of success and what success means for you. First of all, success could mean so many different things. When it's called triumphant success, this type of success is not. Let's see how many times you can say the word success within 1 minute. This type of success is not something that has come lightly to you. And it's something, because it's triumphant, there's something that you've overcome. So I feel like this is a long time coming, long term coming. Can you say that? It's something that you've been working on for a long time. It could be a relationship, it could be work, it could be your body, it could be friendships, a hobby, an idea, something that you want to see happen, okay? And then with this sword, it's like you're coming out of the earth here. You're coming like, this thing buried me, this thing sort of suffocated me, this took so freaking long to get into place, or even if it was like you were in a suffocating relationship, something at work just really drained you. Maybe you were never sort of, what do you say? Appreciated for what you did at work, appreciated for everything that you did. And so with this sort of coming out of this earth thing, is that how much was sort of piled up on top of you, however much time you had to spend doing this, however much effort, you triumphant. It's like you pushed through and you have this sword coming through I did it, I came up over the surface. And there's so much about it looks way more almost purple pinkish here in the camera, but when I look at it on the card, it's more like red pinkish. And to me, this speaks about foundation. Like you really have, on one side of this, on one side of what you've been doing, you really have laid a foundation, a really solid, good foundation. And that could mean so many different things, but it could mean you put a solid foundation down financially, for getting yourself a home, several homes, I feel, for some, putting a good foundation in for family life, a relationship, maybe when we talk about triumphant success, we're all quite often, at least, talking about business, but this could so much be for a relationship. It could have been that you've been fighting for a relationship, that you've been sort of having the feeling that you're just not supposed to give up. You're just not supposed, you have the goods, and you know that you guys together can really work it out. And if you just persevere this thing, or sort of, and guys, this could mean that somebody was really, this could have been you, Gemini. You could have really maybe not treated your partner all that well, or something like that. And and it didn't look well. It was like you lost that person forever, and it's like you just have persevered. Is that what you say? You just have been keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back, and finally your partner is sort of, I don't want to say give in, because it's like you kept nagging them so long that they couldn't hold you out anymore. That's not it. I feel like there's an authentic return for some of you guys. Also, obviously you feel if this is reality for you. You could be the complete opposite thing for you. You could be in a committed relationship, and that relationship has been fine all along. There has nothing to do with your relationship. It could be that you're coming out of a relationship and you sort of don't want to fight for it, or you just, both of you know that it's fine that you're coming out of it. I just want to give it as an example. And it obviously can be for business as well, where you sort of have fought your way through that. Maybe a lot of people has told you it's just not going to work. It's that type of thing that, it's, if you put in the work now, you have to stay there for maybe 1 or 2 or 3 years before you see any results. But if you're like in it for 5 years or 6 years or 7 years, I'm drawn to say, like for music or for acting or getting your own business up and running or something like that, where I just thought about that the other day, that we even have an expression for it. You're a struggling artist. We even have an expression. It's a struggling artist. And how do you expect to succeed if you're a struggling artist? It's just silly how we add these little things so that it's like uphill even starting it, when it could have been downhill all along. But there's something that I feel that you pushed through, even though other people probably would have said like, you're crazy for continuously doing this, or like it's not going to go the way you want it to go. Give it up. Like, there's other things you can do. Like, music is not everything. Painting is not everything. Acting is not everything. Having your own business, just take a job where you're employed and you don't have to deal with all of this stuff being, that type of thing. But guys, you saw it through and you come out on the other side, and who's laughing now? And I don't mean this in a revengeful way, but there's some sort of, it is a triumphant success. So there's some sort of, you nailed it, you did it, you got the job, it's like if you have your own business is thriving. If you hung in there for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years for finally getting your first real gig as a musician or actor or a painter or whatever is going on for you, you did it. And if you don't consider yourself that you've done it, but you're still drawn to this reading, you're so freaking close to have sort of a breakthrough. And that breakthrough could be breakthroughs are so different. Like if a breakthrough for you is selling your first painting, that is a breakthrough for somebody that has never sold a painting before. But if you're a freaking Picasso, you're not selling any more paintings. I'm sorry. But like, you know what I mean? There's difference to, I don't know, in a weird mood. And again, I throw off my game here. There's something to that because it was the second time. So there might be something that you're doing. You might be having a thread. You're doing something. Or it could just be in these crazy times right now, and being Gemini, and you're so freaking intuitive. You're so intuitive that you might feel, sorry, this may seem like a very, what is she talking about now? What does that have to do with anything? It really has nothing to do with anything of what this is all about. But I feel like this is so important to say, because I feel like there's a lot of you guys thinking that you're losing it, or that you're getting slight dementia, or that you're sort of you're going to lose your memory, or what is going on. It's like you're standing up from your living room to go to the kitchen to get something, but by the time you're in the kitchen, you have no idea what you're doing there. It's that type of feeling. I get like I'm losing my thread. It's like a child, and they have a mission, but on the way they find a ball. And so I'd much rather stay here and find the ball and play with it. Only they don't then think, oh wait, where was I going? They're actually in the moment. But this is more like you're losing your thread. You're losing your, and it's nothing wrong. It's due to you being so intuitive and so, yeah, that is significant to the rest of this card. So I'm gonna blend that beautifully here, because I started talking about this red and pink, which looks, it's funny because it looks purple, so it's probably very much a spiritual path as well. But here on the other side of this is so much freedom now, so much gap, so much openness for you to do and think and be anything you want. It has left like a, for you to be really free in what you're doing. And there's some sort of, in all of this freedom and in all of this space, you're also including other people's energies, other people's thoughts, other people's behavior. And sometimes that's beneficial for you if you're in, like, just the way that I'm starting, that this makes sense now. The way that I started to do this reading, I picked up on some of you guys' lower energies out there, and it was, I wasn't doing anything good for you at all. It's like you can't help poor people enough by giving all of your own money away. What good are you then? Or you're not helping anybody who's sick. If you, then I have to become sick as well for helping you. But that's sort of what we tend to do. We lower our vibration or energy to meet other people halfway or something like that, and it just does not work. And so if you're really high up, if you really, like I did my work to get myself to a higher place, you're not that affected by people's lower energy around you. But I feel like now, with the things that has been going on in the world, I think you're sometimes really up, and it doesn't bother you, it doesn't affect you whatsoever. And sometimes you dip a bit. It's like you go into what's globally going on, and immediately you start to attract things that sort of, it's not really on your level or really suiting for your main vibration, I want to say. I hope you follow what I mean. So then you're starting to take on energy and thoughts that is really not yours, and it makes you lose your thread. It makes you lose your, like, the aim, the focus. It's like, what happened? And dizzy spells. I feel a bit dizzy. So that is going on as well. So, but other than that, you're freaking succeeding in the midst of all chaos that's going on. I feel like this is not really bothering you all that much. It really isn't. You're rather the contrary, because you've been doing whatever you've been doing for so long. There's something that you're triumphant about. And Gemini, I do want to say, if you just lost your job, if you're one of the people across the world, whoever I'm checking in here with now, if you lost your job, or if you are in a situation where you don't see really where the future is going, take this one thing that is being triumphant for you and focus your eyes out on it. Focus all your energy here, and the rest has to follow. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. And then we have the number 9, which speaks about endings. It speaks about something coming to an end, and I feel like it's a welcoming end. It's something that you want to see come to an end. So it's not something that you are refusing or resisting or anything like that. But I do want to say, and I learned this now recently, probably the only thing I learned from tarot, like a tarot reading, is that there's a tower in the background, and the tower in the tarot, or at least I've incorporated for me this way now, is that it changes situations, and it speaks about how it's how it's interfering with normal, how it's all of a sudden everything is turned upside down. And at first glance that might look a bit scary, but this is a wanted ending. This is a wanted interference, wanted turning upside down of the situation. And I get it, if this is sort of directed towards whatever's going on in the world, you might at first glance say, no, this is not wanted. I didn't want to lose my job. How am I going to pay my rent now? Then we have number 1 here, new beginnings. You lay the foundation for something, We're stepping into the next card, which is also number 1, and it says prosperity begins. So we're having something end here first with the Tower. There's something being shaken up that you maybe did not see coming, but was needed for you to have in your life. It was needed to happen in order for you to now move into the next phase. Because I think that you probably wouldn't have, this is going to sound a bit harsh, but it's like if you know you're not supposed to be in a particular job situation, but you sort of don't have the guts to quit your job. This Tower thing can be that you're actually getting fired from your job, or let go, sounds better. Or if you're in a relationship and you know that relationship, it isn't going anywhere anymore. It's like you change your information with each other. You've grown as much as two people can grow. And you're just not feeling it anymore. You just know in your heart that your story has ended here, and maybe even ended a good while back, but you just don't have the guts to end it, or you just hang on because you think some things can get better. And I guess that's good. Like if you look for the positives, you might get more positives, but this is sort of a knowing in your heart. And then this unexpected, it's almost like you thought that not in a million years were they the person who was going to leave the relationship. If the relationship was going to be ended, you were the one that had to do it, or something like that. Or vice versa. There could be that you sort of know that your partner, you've been talking about it, and you know that your partner wants to get out. You know that, this is not working anymore, this is not working anymore. And you thought you were never going to be the person to say, let's get a divorce, or let's get separated, or let's whatever. But there's a Tower moment. There's something happening in your life which sort of gives you this light bulb moment or aha experience that you go, it's time. We're not going to be together anymore. Or it's time. I'm going to have them, give them my final notice. I'm going to be gone in a week. Or something like that. There's a Tower moment happening here, but you have enough information, you have enough wisdom, you have enough knowledge for you to move on to the next step. So it's not like you quit your job and you have kids and you have no way to pay rent. That's not what you've been doing here. This is sort of putting you in a good position for the next place. And the next place, yet a number 1, and here fruit is falling from the sky. It's almost like I get this Jesus image, like how Jesus turned, what was that? He turned something into something. Do you remember that story where he turned something into something? He made it be a lot of fish in the water. It's just a feeling of it's starting to rain. It's like it was a drought forever, and all of a sudden, so it could have been a drought in money, it could have been a drought, like you could have been, it just looks like it was ebb. It was like there's nothing coming in, there's no flow, to anything. And all of a sudden, it's starting to rain. All of a sudden, here comes the fruits. Here comes the karma returned. Here comes tax return. Here comes what you've sent out is coming back. You put this down in the ground, and this is what I see. Like you put this down in the ground, it has gotten roots, it has blossomed, and it's the same feeling as this. It's like we're coming out of the ground. You're coming out with your hand through the ground, through resistance, through struggle, and you're triumphantly winning. Here's the same feeling. It's almost like somebody's pushing it down. It's like you're being pushed down or hold back. And I don't think it's you. I think that you've been wanting to get up. You've been wanting to move forward. But there's something that has sort of held you back. And I guess we can't blame anybody else for it. We can create... I'll give you a brief story. Back in the way back, I recorded my own music. Wrote the music. I was very much like first hand in the music and the producing and everything. So I didn't see what I was doing, because if I was just sort of just the artist, I could have so much more, but I did it anyway. So I'll just get to the story. So the thing was that I was working with this producer friend, and when we finished or not finished a song, recorded it, sang it, wrote it, done. Then there was the tweaking, the producing part of it, like the mixing and all of that. And he just never wanted, like he wanted to then just keep going, like just get to the next song, because we want to have the creativity, like when it's up and running, I can do the tweaking, we can do the tweaking later, we can have the sound check and all of that later. And so we just kept going with new songs and not finalizing any songs. And I got so frustrated with him. I was like, can we just please get this done so that we can start to like get the music out there? I don't want to just stay in here in the studio and die. I want to get the music out. And we never, it came to a point where we released 1 or 2 singles in a very cryptic way, in a way that was almost planned to fail. And even then, it sort of almost succeeded. So it's like, and then years later, I understood that, oh my God, it had nothing to do with him. It had nothing to do with him. I just picked the perfect producer friend. I almost become a Chinese person, the alphabet. And I just realized I was so not ready for it. I was so not ready for it. I did not want that to succeed whatsoever. So I picked this person who I could just put all the blame on. Like, you do not want to do this, so it hinders me. But if I would have been like in the flow of it, if I really would have wanted it to come out there, I would have picked a person, or I would have attracted from him, let's get this done, let's get this ready and send it out. Because when we have had a talk about years and years later, he was like, what? I wasn't holding you back. It was you. You were like, blah, 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 blah. And so this is something, it looks like something, guys. I hope this story that I'm telling you resonates. Check. Okay, so, because here's the thing. You have wind something. You've triumphant you have triumphant. You won something. You did it. There's success. You're winning. We're ending something. We're coming out of something that you don't want to be in. So you're prepared for the next stage. You're so prepared for the next stage. I also saw this now. There's a wish fulfillment here. There's a star. So there's a wish fulfillment. It's all going accordingly. Exactly what you planned for. Exactly what you said that you wanted. And you really worked your ass off to get to this point. Now there's something in your life where it looks like you're being held back. It looks like somebody else it's even so well portrayed that I even me was a bit tricked there. See how arrogant that sounded? It's something that looks like somebody else is doing. It's somebody like, if you want to leave a relationship, it looks like they just don't want you to go. Or if you want to succeed in some sort of business or something and you feel held back, or that you're not seen enough, or not, like, whatever that is, it looks like it's them, but it's just being portrayed as if it's them because you're attracting it. So have a little reality check with yourself and know that whatever this thing is that you're waiting for, planning for, so wanting to see happen, and it feels like it doesn't really come to fruition, it already has come to fruition, to fruition. It's like the seed is already down, and we have all the roots here. It's already planted, and then even the tree has gone up, and we have fruits on it. And since that is apparently not enough, we're just going to drop the fruits from heaven. We're just going to drop this on you now. And it still looks like there's somebody holding you down or trying to like block it or stop it or something like that. Have a little reality check with yourself. What is it that are you afraid of this next step? Are you afraid of even how good it feels? If you're sort of used to struggle and all of a sudden things become easy, even though the easy part is what you would prefer, what is really beautiful for your stress factor. What is really helping you financially, helping you relationship wise, helping you physically, whatever is going on, it could still feel a bit scary, a bit out of your comfort zone, because you're not used to it. You're used to fighting for what you want, and all of a sudden it's just being delivered, because it's like the floodgates is just, you broke through. You broke through. So a little reality check with yourself about what this is that looks like, because you're projecting it onto something else or somebody else, that it looks like they're holding you back. It looks like money is holding you back. I would do this in a heartbeat if I just had the money. If you would do this in a heartbeat, you would have had the money now, right? So a little reality check. Is there something that I'm doing? Am I not ready? And it's fine if you're not ready. But then instead of thinking that you're working your ass off and thinking that you're failing, thinking it's not for you, thinking that is not true. Whatever this is, it is for you. It's waiting for you. It even knocks itself out. It even throws in tower moments for you to get to this point. And you're getting to it right now. And this is this little final touches or something, which then allows for you to personally see the breakthrough, not just on an energetic level, but to really see the breakthrough. I'm gonna stop there. It's a beautiful reading, and I'm so more excited for this reading than, oh my god, you should see the struggle in the last one. I'm gonna go into the extended, so if this resonates with you and you feel like, ooh, this is a bit juicy, then come to the extended. If it doesn't resonate, then thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you back next week for your love reading. Take care, guys. Bye.